Thanks for joining us this week as we dive headfirst into an unforgettable adventure. It all starts with a delicious detour, trying kolaches for the first time. Taking a blanket?
Yeah, with boudin. So I assume you're supposed to eat it warm because he asked if I wanted to heat it up and I said no.
Spoiler, this might not be the last time. There's just a tiny bit of spice.
Okay.
I can handle it, so it's a tiny bit. Then, thanks to some relentless winds, we have a roadside mishap.
And I just happened to look out at the right time to see something come from somewhere and hit the road. And at first I thought maybe that we had had a blowout and maybe it was part of the fender, but it wasn't.
But the real chaos? We find ourselves smack in the middle of a once-in-a-lifetime storm, buried under more than 10 inches of snow. And hey, we can say that we were here for Snowpocalypse,
That's right.
Louisiana 2025. Buckle up, this one's a wild ride.
Hey buddy, you ready to go? We're almost ready. Okay, so propane is full.
Okay.
That's important
Yes.
because we'll get to that in just a second, but that's super important right now.
Yes.
Okay, so that right there, of course, I stopped at the donut store.
Of course you
Okay,
did.
but that's not all that's in there. But I did get 2 donuts. I got a blueberry cake.
Ooh.
And I got a raspberry filled.
Okay.
Okay. Now, do you know what a kolache is?
I've heard of it.
Okay, so the name of the store is Donuts and Kolaches. Kolaches, I'm probably not saying that right. So anyway, I got us a boudin kolache.
So it's a savory.
It's a, yes. So it's, I don't know which bag it's in, but. So it's basically like a boudin in a blanket. That's kind of what it looks like.
So it's a, pig in a blanket?
Yeah, with boudin. So I assume you're supposed to eat it warm because he asked if I wanted to heat it up and I said no. So let's toss that in the microwave for about,
Okay.
I don't know, 20, 30 seconds, something like that. Okay, is it nice and warm?
I think so.
Okay,
No?
I'm gonna let you take the first bite. I'm sure it's gonna be good. I mean, it's just a pastry with some boudin in it. No, that's not for you, buddy.
Wicked thinks he's gonna get some.
Yeah, not for you, buddy. I don't know if it's spicy though. I wouldn't think so. Man, that wind is going. Holy moly.
There's cheese in the pastry.
Oh.
There's just a tiny bit of spice.
Okay.
I can handle it, so it's a tiny bit.
Okay, and then she also said the guy gave me 2 donut
Two
holes
donut
in there.
holes,
He
yeah.
gave me a bonus. They were really nice in there. All right, so let's give an update on where we're going and how our plans are kind of up in the air and why the propane was so important this morning.
So
Don't talk with your mouth full.
as most of you probably know, the southern part of the U.S. is going to get hit by this like nasty polar vortex, snowstorm, ice, everything, and we're heading right into it. So tonight, I think our overnight low is 27 degrees, and then tomorrow we're heading close to kind of like Lafayette, Louisiana. They're gonna have an overnight low, I think, of 13, but we're expected to get 1 to 3 inches of snow Monday night, and then 5 to 8 on Tuesday. So depending on the situation when we wake up, I think it's Tuesday morning, we'll determine whether we're gonna stay a few more days there in Lafayette and ride it out, or if it's safe enough to head farther west to just east of Houston.
Yeah, because this guy back here, he's not driving this rig in the snow or the ice.
And I don't want him doing that.
And you already made preps for the campground to leave our site.
Yes.
Available.
Yeah, I called him yesterday because we were actually supposed to stay at a Harvest Host Monday night. And it was like, with these temperatures, I want electricity. So I found a campground, booked it, and then called him a couple hours later. I was like, hey, so would it be possible for us to stay a couple days extra if need be? So she blocked it out for us. And
Yeah.
if we need it, it's there for us. If not, no big deal.
And the reason that we really want the full hookups with the electricity is because when we first got here, if you remember, I just gave a little update that we were going to be boondocking for 4 days while we were here, and then I gave you another update on how those EcoFlows performed while we were here. Well, that's a whole strange story that I don't have time to get into right now.
Yeah.
But we've had some I don't know if we've had issues with it, but our indications on that thing and what it's telling us our available state of charges and how much power we have left has not been, I don't think, reliable. And I think it's because I haven't used them in a long time. So I think the brains in there are just a little bit confused. Ooh. Yeah, the wind's really going.
Like, I thought our limiting factor was going to be the fresh tank. You know, were we going to have enough water for showers and just a little bit of like rinsing off of dishes? But really, our limiting factor this trip has been the electric.
Well, I think it's kind of. We did have to break out the generator a couple of times because those EcoFlows said that we were really low on our power. But then when we charged them back up, I got some really weird indications, like the last 25 to 30% of the charge went in about 30 seconds. It went from like, 70% up to 100% in like 30 seconds. So I just had some weird indications out. Once I get everything sorted in my brain, I'll give you guys an update on that. But we're headed into some really cold weather. And today's going to be interesting because this wind is stupid.
It's stupid.
We're getting 30 to 40 mile an hour gusts, and I don't know. It's just going to be stupid. We have to take it slow.
Yeah. Luckily, we're only going 80 miles today.
Yeah.
And there's a fuel stop at about the 60-mile point, so we're not driving a long distance.
And I don't know. Maybe it won't be so bad once we get on the highway. You know, the trees. Usually got it lined with trees.
Hopefully.
So we'll see. Hopefully it's not as bad.
But it's also I-10 in Mississippi and Louisiana, which is like one of the worst roads in the country.
Well,
so
yeah, that's true. So all right, I'm gonna eat my boudin Kolache here, and then I think I'm gonna save the donuts for the truck.
There you go. So. Yeah.
We said we'd update you once we got to the next place. So we're at the next place. Not a lot to tell from here. It's a really nice state park. Fontainebleau State Park. Okay, whatever. Anyway, it's a super nice state park right on Lake Pontchartrain. And it's a beautiful view out by the lake. They got all kinds of facilities. We didn't get any video of it, but just take my word for it. It's nice. The other thing that I wanted to give a quick update on was we talked about how crazy the wind was going to be yesterday, and it was. Hey, here's the funny thing. I happened to look out, I was just looking out the mirrors to see if I could see the trailer swaying back and forth back there at all, and I just happened to look out at the right time to see something come from somewhere and hit the road. And at first I thought maybe that we had had a blowout and maybe it was part of the fender, but it wasn't. It was part of my septic fence, the whatever that thing's called that holds up the septic line.
Support,
whatever that is. Luckily there was nobody over there. Well, there was, but he was able to avoid it. But the cool thing is that we were literally like 2 minutes from a Camping World. And I hate Camping World, but we had a gift card from there that had like 50 or 60 bucks on it. So we basically immediately pulled in, got a new septic support, and we went ahead and dumped some of our tanks. I didn't want to dump all of our tanks because it was so windy, but I did want to get the rest of the fresh water out because that's all the way in the back, and I wanted to empty the kitchen gray because that's all the way in the back. I didn't want that weight in the back contributing to the sway. And then I left the water in the front of the rig, so in the other gray tank and the black tank, to add a little bit of weight up there. I don't know, let me know what you guys think about that, but I think that was probably maybe a smart thing to do on such a windy day, to have a little bit more weight up front. But one last thing before we get underway, I wanted to give just a little tip on something else that we've added to our underway checklist. If you guys remember, a few months back we had some brake issues, and it was because we ran out of brake fluid. Turns out I actually have a brake line that's leaking on the rear passenger side wheel, and I'm out of brake fluid because it all leaked because Grand Design didn't tighten up all of our connections correctly, and we just lost all of our brake fluid. So something that I've added is to just check the brake fluid level before every underway, and it's super simple. Here, I'll show you what I do. So this is all I do. I'm just basically going to take the cap off of the reservoir here. I dip my finger in there. I make sure I feel fluid, and that's it. As long as I can feel fluid in there, then I know that we've got
brake fluid. But I just wanted to put that tip out there. It's a really easy check to do for a system that is critical to safety driving down the road. So that's it. We are headed underway into more cold, bad weather.
One frozen wasteland later.
What you think, buddy? Huh? You gonna go potty down there? Alright. This way. This way. Come here. This way. This way. This way. Let me in.
We are coming to you live from Lafayette, Louisiana. Well, actually, number one, not in Lafayette, Louisiana. We're just outside of Lafayette, Louisiana. And number two, not really live, but you get the point. However, we are in the middle of blizzard conditions here. It is technically a blizzard here in the south. Now, granted, it's a deep south blizzard, so it's not like this is going to come with, 3 feet of snow, 4 feet of snow or whatever. But you can see, look at the picnic table over here. You can see we've got probably a good 6 inches right now. We're supposed to continue to get this for a little while. We haven't had this much snow since we have been in an RV. We have fought some really cold weather, but not snow like this. You can see up here, we're starting to get it really accumulated on the roof. I don't know if that's going to be a problem or not. I think it'll be okay unless some of that stuff melts and then turns to ice, and then things start to get funky when you start getting ice built up on stuff. So we are going to be stuck here for a couple of days. We were only supposed to be here for one night, and then moving on to Texas. The real tell here about when we can leave is going to be when they get the roads cleared, because I'm not driving this pig if there's any snow on the road or ice. Luckily, we were smart enough, number one, because we knew this weather was hitting this area when we got here. We were smart enough to go to the grocery store and fill up on some things to get us through 3 or 4 days. And then obviously we disconnected all our utilities and everything like that. I was able to get the EcoFlows charged back up just in case we lose power, because you never know in these conditions, especially in the south where they're not used to this stuff, if we're going to have issues with power. So I think, we're good. We just gotta hunker down here until the roads get clear. Now, Wicket, on the other hand, he is not doing so well. Took him out this morning, and obviously, he doesn't pay attention to the weatherman, so he had no idea that he was going to step out and see all of this. So basically, he came out, he just wanted to hang out up here underneath of the slide and up underneath of the stairs. So he was not having a good time this morning. I'm going to go around to the other side and see what that looks like, because I do want to get the gray tank, the bathroom gray tank, emptied. Well, there we go. So our septic connection is totally covered up here. I got it fully drained yesterday, so it should be empty. So I should be able to just drain this with no problems. It shouldn't be no frozen water in there. But let's check this out. All right, so let's give this a pull. Well, you can't really see it in that picture, I don't think, but we do have flow, which is about what I figured, because like I said, I drained it fully yesterday. So the key here is when that's empty, I just need to walk that line down again and get it completely empty. Actually, this park's got 2 septic connections for every site, so I didn't have to break up my Y adapter or anything like that, and it's a real short run of hose, so there's not much to walk down. This will be pretty easy. I'm gonna get this wrapped up and then head back inside where it's freaking warm. Good idea, bad idea, I don't know. We're gonna go up there, see if we can brush off some of that snow from the slides, because our campsite slides have got a lot of snow and it's kind of wet. So we're gonna see what we can do. If I get up there and it doesn't feel right, I'll just come right back down. That ladder's super slickery. I think the roof would be okay. But my problem is getting up and down that ladder. Just that transition between the two. And I don't know if I've ever told you guys this or not. I do not like heights. And there's not enough snow here to really break a fall. So we're just gonna hope for the best.
A few inches later.
Okay, so we're gonna try this again today. You can see way better weather today. We're supposed to have full sunshine all day, so I don't have to get all the snow off up there, but I do need to get some of it off. So we're gonna try this again.
Please don't die.
Well, I'm gonna try not to.
Okay. Woo! I'm gonna stand back a little bit.
Are you ready for this?
You!
We got a little bit of ice up here, but not bad.
Butthead. From what I can see from numerous reports, we got about 10.5 inches here, which is a little bit more than the top estimate. We're expecting 3 to 8 and got 10. And hey, we can say that we were here for Snowpocalypse.
That's right.
Louisiana 2025.
Okay, well, the rest of it should melt off. That was not as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
Good. And you didn't die.
And I didn't die, so, well, that's always a bonus.
Yeah.
So we got a couple, at least one more person out here doing the same thing, but a lot of these rigs, it looks like a bunch of the snow's already melted. The rest of this should melt. That's pretty good. I mean, it's already melting. You can see like the ice down here. That's just ice down there, and I'm afraid to scrape that up because I don't want it to tear up the roof. But those patches, even those patches right there, are starting to break loose from the roof, which actually is making this even more dangerous for me up here, because when you step on that, sometimes it just whoosh, slides right out from underneath your feet. So anyway, I am done. Let's just get an overall look around here this morning, see what this looks like. This morning was really pretty. There were all these trees were covered like in frost or ice, and it was just kind of pretty. We got this full sunshine. It's a beautiful day, and I'm just gonna count on that sunshine to do the rest of my job. It's gonna be a muddy freaking mess in the morning.
If we can leave tomorrow, yep.
I-10 is shut down. Apparently they finally shut it down. We were watching Ryan Hall, y'all, or something yesterday, and there were just a bunch of idiots out there on the road. So they ended up shutting it down. So hopefully that will be open tomorrow, and we'll be able to get out of here. All this like snow and nasty weather is done.
Yep.
And we can finally get on the move. So anyway,
we were here for it.
Yeah, we were here for it. We need to get the t-shirt. Whatever that t-shirt needs to say, we need to get the t-shirt, because it was definitely interesting, and once in a lifetime. There are people that have lived here their whole lives and never seen anything like this. So, and we were saying earlier, we think that this is some of the most snow we've ever seen anywhere we've lived. So
yeah.
Anyway, that's it. I'm going inside.
24 hours later.
Wicked, are you comfy?
I'm not talking to you.
All right, we're finally getting out of here. We were here 2 nights longer than we wanted to be.
Yep.
And it wasn't without some frustration this morning. So we are at Frog City Campground in Duson, Louisiana. So just west of Lafayette, right off of I-10. Love's was a freaking madhouse this morning. So I just decided to go out and get gas this morning because it was like a mile away. Probably not even that. And it was like 311 with the TSD, open roads card. So I went over there. It was a freaking mess. Let me tell you something. I know we need truckers, but oh my gosh, they're some of the most inconsiderate people out there. So today there was 5 trucks sitting at the pumps. Nobody in them, nobody pumping gas. They were all inside. They were just sitting there, inside, getting breakfast or whatever. Anyway, none of the gas stations on the south side of the highway were open. Well, they were open. They just weren't serving gas, if you will, except for the Deuces, whatever, casino. They were totally shut down. Love's was open on the north side of the highway, and then the Exxon, I think it was, on the north side of the highway. They were both open. Exxon was like nobody was there, like no trucks, no nothing. I don't, whatever the case is there, but that's where I got gas, $3.39 instead of $3.10, $3.11, whatever it was. Anyway,
At least we got it.
a little bit of frustration this morning, obviously, with all the snow that's all around, especially on the other side where none of it's melted yet. It was just a pain in the butt to get ready this morning. Smacked my head really good right here. I'm ready to be out of this joint. It's a nice campground, though. Really nice people.
We would come back if we're ever in this area.
For sure.
Yeah.
They even do things, the little things, like you just take your propane tank out to the side of the road, they fill it up. So it's a really nice campground.
Yeah, one of our viewers, I posted a picture the other day of the snow on the slide topper, and he was like, hey, that looks like Frog City in Tucson, Louisiana. And I was like, you are right.
I don't know what's going on back there. Hopefully we don't get the cops called here soon. Sounds like somebody's screaming at somebody else. Anyway, getting hitched up.
Yep.
And getting underway. And down the road, warmer weather is on the way.
Yep. I-10 westbound is open. Eastbound
Yeah,
is
they've actually
still shut.
Yeah, they've actually got it blocked off up there with cops sitting at the entrance ramps. But westbound is open. I think it was open sometime yesterday. So we still couldn't have got out here yesterday because I don't think it was open yesterday morning. Eastbound, most of eastbound is open, but not all of it.
Yeah, the section that between pretty much Lake Charles and Lafayette eastbound is still closed.
Yeah.
But we're not going eastbound.
Definitely headed to warmer weather. I was just looking at Brownsville. And Brownsville here in about a week or so is going to start getting back up into the 70s consistently, even maybe up into the 80s. I know that the weather guys suck, but temperatures are usually, they're pretty good with the temperatures usually. So anyway, we're headed to much warmer weather. Tonight we're headed to Anahuac, Texas. 160 something miles. That's a long drive day for us guys.
It is.
Not looking forward to this.
But you know what? Even with all of our stress, like I woke up this morning, I figured road's still closed. We ain't going anywhere. So we got a late start. Jeremy had issues with getting gas, and we're still getting out of here at close to our normal 11 o'clock. It's 11:03. All we have to do is hitch up.
Well, let's not high five that yet. Because as soon as we do, we'll be stuck here because the jacks won't go up or something. So we'll high five once we get onto the interstate.
There you go.